According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were 19.8 million layoffs and discharges in 2023. That trend continued throughout 2024 and is rapidly rising at the beginning of 2025 as massive terminations dominate the news. With Statista estimating 161 million Americans in the workforce for 2023, discharges were experienced by more than 1 in every 10 employees. As corporations aim to operate with leaner budgets and adjust their workloads for advancements in artificial intelligence, we are witnessing the very public and sometimes very emotional reactions to the corporate layoff breakups. Was it ever a good idea to brand the workplace as a family? After all, at its core, the outer circle collaboration between employees and their employers is a transactional exchange of time for money. This is the complete opposite of the emotional and social support expected over a lifetime relationship between inner circle family members. The concept of a workplace family has gained popularity in recent years, with corporations using organizational psychology to promote a familial atmosphere that fosters colleague camaraderie and loyalty to the company. However, while the notion of a workplace family may seem appealing on the surface, it can have toxic effects that undermine professional boundaries, perpetuate unhealthy dynamics, and negatively impact the unsuspecting employee's well-being. Here are 7 toxic effects of accepting the organization's psychological brand of the workplace as a family. Number 1. Blurred relationship boundaries. One of the primary issues with promoting a workplace as a family is the blurring of personal and professional relationship boundaries. In a traditional family setting, inner circle relationships are inherently personal, emotionally attached, supportive, and for the most part, expected to be a lifelong commitment. Early on, the parent-child hierarchical dynamic sets an example that uses power and influence to put the needs of the child before the parent, while trying to form a balanced level of resource management as children grow to adulthood. But the psychological strategies used by businesses are nothing like this. Employees are paid a predetermined amount in exchange for delivering on a particular set of job descriptions, with most profits, no matter how massive they are, aimed to benefit the top of the hierarchy. So when the familial psychology of the family dynamic is transferred to the workplace hierarchy, it can lead to inappropriate levels of one-sided emotional attachment and a subconscious expectation for those in power to prioritize the well-being of those at the bottom. The blurred lines on the differences between at-will employment contracts that allow discharges for almost any reason and the hidden psychology that may be used for legal loopholes in federal work protections can often lead to false feelings of job security. In this transactional relationship, the corporation's profit margin for shareholders at the top is prioritized over any individual employee's paycheck. These blurred lines caused by the organizational psychology of the workplace family are especially hard for those who haven't mastered the art of setting emotional boundaries between professional, outer circle colleagues and personal, inner circle connections. Private information exchanged with what appears to be work family can often be used behind the scenes to separate their corporate definition of the weak employee from the strong, with discharged workers never fully knowing why they were chosen to be jettisoned. Number 2. Unrealistic expectations. Branding the workplace as a family can also create unrealistic, subconscious expectations of loyalty and commitment. In a family, loyalty is often unconditional, and members are expected to support one another through thick and thin. However, the workplace operates on a different set of principles, where performance and results are key. This form of organizational psychology is used to increase employee loyalty with the illusion of unconditional support from their new brothers and sisters. That social engineering usually works, until competitive experiences like that brotherly coworker gossiping to the team about your personal life quietly deflates management's view of your qualities in a hidden effort to elevate their own. And here you were, thinking you were family. Or until unscheduled meetings are added to your calendar for the modern-day pink slip. We're so sorry to have to be the bearers of this bad news, but we are breaking up the family with mass discharges for a much younger and extremely smarter model. When employees are socially engineered to exhibit unwavering loyalty to an organization, without said loyalty reciprocated, it can lead to feelings of guilt and inadequacy when they didn't prioritize their own well-being or pursue opportunities elsewhere. This unrealistic expectation can also foster a culture of overwork, where employees are expected to go above and beyond their job responsibilities without adequate compensation or beneficial recognition. Number 3. Financial dependence. The psychology of the workplace family can promote a fake sense of financial stability with thoughts like, if the company is doing well, they will ensure my well-being with a stable income. After all, the family is designed to use as many resources as possible to lift the next generation above the current one, with some parents resorting to extreme measures, like risking their freedom with jail time, to get their children into the best schools for the best education possible. But the reality of transactional business practices is different. Companies are recording record profits while still announcing significant layoffs. While we can't control the discharges, we can decide what to do with our paychecks. With lifestyle creep, many employees elevate their lifestyles with every raise, with more house, more travel, and more experiences. As we spend more, there's more month-end paycheck, and with every new debt, we become more and more dependent on the job for survival. According to statistics, many American individuals and families are living from paycheck to paycheck, with many unable to survive for a few months without it. Surprise layoff and discharge notices are difficult to deal with, but for those living to the max of their income, they can be devastating. This form of psychological work-family branding can cause financial complacency, with more spending and less savings, thinking that there's time to save later, when in reality, most at-will contracts allow firings at any time. Financial independence, achieved by building your own economy of income from stocks, bonds, savings, and real estate, is the cornerstone of personal freedom and security. It provides a safety net that grants individuals the ability to make decisions without being completely constrained by financial limitations. This fosters a sense of self-control, leading to a more empowered and self-determined life that is not codependent on the next paycheck. An employee's emotional response to a transactional layoff is often regulated by their level of financial dependence, which determines how well prepared they are to take care of themselves and for how long. Number 4. Favoritism and nepotism. Seeing the workplace as a family can lead to favoritism, where certain employees are given preferential treatment based on personal connection and attachment, rather than performance and merit. This can create an environment of inequality and dissatisfaction among team members, hindering collaboration, growth, and morale. Top performers tend to have higher standards than the average quiet quitters, and they may be forced to change jobs earlier than expected, leaving the toxic and emotionally attached favoritism for a more professional and merit-based work opportunity. Number 5. Lack of accountability. In a family, requited love is often the primary goal, so mistakes and shortcomings are often more forgiving or overlooked in the interest of maintaining harmony between loved ones. Addressing conflicts can be challenging, and the psychology of the workplace family can make it more difficult. People may avoid confronting issues directly to preserve the sense of unity and emotional attachment, leading to unresolved tensions and passive-aggressive behavior. When this compromising mentality is applied to the workplace, it can result in a lack of accountability and a tolerance for poor treatment. Employees may be reluctant to provide constructive feedback, fearing that it will disrupt the so-called work-family dynamics. This can lead to a toxic and stagnant work environment where mediocrity is not only accepted but also expected. While low achievers usually aim for the ease of repetition and stagnation, high performers become frustrated with the lack of growth opportunities. Number 6. Am I really my brother's keeper? Over time, the work-family atmosphere can create a culture where employees feel obligated to provide emotional support to their colleagues, adding to their workload and emotional burden. Often labeled as mentorship, the wrong mentee can latch on like a leech, sucking every bit of emotional capital from the mentor or vice versa. While there are some great mentors, undeveloped self-esteem in a mentor with a little bit of power can do more harm to the mentee than good. This can lead to a toxic environment with emotional exhaustion, showing up in the form of stress and anxiety, with possible long-term professional and physical consequences. Number 7. Unfinished business. The principle of finishing what you started is ingrained in most functional family training, with ample time given to ensure the priorities of preparing, completing the required tasks, and measuring the outcome are met. But many employers cut off all methods of communication and access without notice, leaving discharged employees with unfinished projects and no way to pass their work on to be finished. Quality work usually has an exceptional project manager taking ownership and ensuring continuous progress. Organizations that brand their teams as a work family may be falsely advertising project completion as a primary mission, traumatizing top performers who are professionally and personally attached to the outcome of their assigned projects. In conclusion, although the idea of a workplace family may seem appealing, it is important to recognize the potentially toxic effects of this mentality that can ultimately harm both employees and the organization. While a supportive and positive work environment is important, it's crucial to understand how organizational psychology is being used to influence group behavior and learn to understand the employee life cycle to maintain professional boundaries. By focusing on fostering a culture of honesty about the transactional nature of work contracts and respecting the boundaries between professional colleagues and personal connections, employees can contribute to a healthy work environment while minimizing the toxic effects of the layoff breakup. And one step at a time, a more balanced me becomes a stronger community of we. Subscribe, like, and click the notification icon to explore the commonalities of our humanity with us. One topic at a time, from the inside out. Welcome to Circles of You.